Hello everyone. Thought I'd do a quick little video on reusing things or thinking about things in multiple ways. Oftentimes before I throw something out, I try to think if I can give it another purpose, especially when it comes to my magic and my spell work. And I have come up with some things. Some of these are pretty basic, so please understand I am going to show some very basic things that a lot of you may already know about, but because everybody's on a different part of their path, I wanted to include those as well. So for some of the basics, I'm not going to get into herbs or foraging outside or anything like that. I can do another video on that if anybody's interested. And I'm supposed to say that if you like my channel, if you would please subscribe and then hit the little bell button so you know when I upload another video. Feel a little weird saying that, but somebody told me I needed to say it, so there it is. So, of course, we have our eggshells. I do take the membranes out. I have natural and store-bought in this jar. I have another jar that's just natural. And everybody feels differently about it. Some will not use store-bought eggs because of how they feel about them, and that's totally fine. If you are not comfortable with it, if you don't like the energy or don't like the practice of something, then absolutely don't use it. Totally fine. When I make my cascarilla powder, which is just taking the eggshells and grinding them up, I use an herb grinder. I do stick with the white when my intent is to make chalk, or when it is for a type of work that I just want the color there for whatever reason. For lemons and oranges, things like that, I try to save as much of it and use as much of it as possible. I just cut this lemon in half and gutted it, and I am going to dry it out and make a bowl out of it. You can also dry it a bit and put vegetable oil in it. You can use a wick, or you can save the stem and make a candle out of it. You can do the same with an orange, probably a lime too. Pretty handy. This is one I made out of an orange over a year ago, and very, very hard. Has held up really well. And you can use them for offering bowls. You can use them for biodegradable spell bowls. You can use them to put salts in. I put some of my salt mixes in some of those. I think it's beautiful. I think it's natural. And I have zested the other half of the lemon, and I'm saving some of the seeds. Lemons can be used, like I said, on both sides of the coin. Lemons are often used in love work. Zesting and powdering lemon peel can be used in love spells. Again, I don't always follow the magical properties of what something says it is, but to me the smell is invigorating, it's cleansing. You often go and get, cleaning things that smell like lemons on purpose because of the way it makes you feel. However, you can also use them in souring jars. You can cut a lemon in half and put a petition in there to sour a situation. But I'll just leave it at that. I'm also going to save the guts of both halves. You can put it in tea. You can use it in spell jars. You can freeze it and then use it in spell jars later or in tea. You can also freeze it into cubes, and I will put it down my garbage disposal, and it helps like you would an ice cube with the blades, but it also leaves a nice fresh scent. They sell some of those little balls, but this is the natural thing. And of course I save ribbons, bows, from just about anything. If you get a paper bag that has a ribbon on it or handles made of ribbon and the bag rips, you can save the ribbon. If you get a package from somebody who, let's say, doesn't really like you, but they did it because they had to, you know, something like that, it's going to give off that kind of a vibe, and you can decide whether to keep it because now you have a ribbon from somebody who doesn't like you. I'll leave that there, or you can discard it. You don't have to save everything, and you don't have to know what you're going to use it for. That's the great thing. You can save some things. I've saved some things, no idea why I was going to save them, and then I go to do a spell or a working, and oh my gosh, it's the absolute perfect thing, and I go right to it, and it's exactly what I needed. So there you have it. You can dehydrate. These are my dehydrated lemons, which I'm low on. You can use a dehydrator. You can use the oven. You don't have to have fancy equipment. My orange peels. My orange slices. You can use them in spell work. You can use them to make sun catchers. They make really beautiful sun catchers to put on the window. The light shines through them. They're really pretty. Let's see. Oh, these are skewers that we're holding a sandwich together that I just like the look of. So again, like I said, just about everything can have both sides of the coin on what you use them for. This held something together. That can be a good thing, or that can be, I guess you'd say, a darker thing. You can see it as it forced it, it held it down, and it's making it stay put. Or you can see it as a protective. It helped it not to fall apart. Same with these little things. Came on a gift. Was holding the little tag there. Again, it's the use. Think about what it's used for, but then think about that use outside of the box. Yes, it was used to hold a tag, but again, like the skewers, it could be, I hate using light or dark, but you get what I mean. I save bottle tops. I think these were from Sparkling Cider, actually. You can use these in a travel kit for salt and water or little pieces of herbs. These are metal, so you could burn incense cones on them. They also are great holders for birthday candles. You might be able to do a chime with it. A chime might be too top heavy, but you could give it a try. Same with tops of plastic bottles. You can save the whole bottle, but also for a traveling kit, or if you just want to put a little bit of something, you can put libations in there as an offering. You could put herbs, you could put water, you could put salt. Of course, you just can't burn anything in it because it's plastic. We all know the Altoids tins. I have people at work save these for me. People use them to make absolutely gorgeous pocket altars. Can I tell you, I watch some of those videos and I'm just in awe of the talent. But you don't have to make an altar out of it. You can use it to put little things like this in. You can use it to keep little tiny ribbons or things like that in. They're just a good handy size. I saved this from some mints, but it doesn't stay closed very well. It'll come right open, so you got to be careful with that. Thimble. This came from a little dollar store sewing kit. But again, with a whole little, you can use it as an offering for the fae, something small. You can use it as a chalice for a travel altar. You can put a birthday candle in it. You heat up the bottom and make sure it sticks in there. But then you can also think about, what is it used for? Well, most of us know that you put these on your fingers when you're sewing. But I think about two things that you do when you do that. One is it helps you push through and force through a sewing needle through thicker material. So when you need something to be forced through, like it's blocking, it's hard, you can't get it to go through, a thimble helps you do that. It will push and give you that extra strength that you need to get that needle through, right? But it's also very protective. It protects your finger so that the needle doesn't come back and push right into your finger. So just think about all the different ways. You can start out with what it's used for, let your mind expand, and you can even come up with your own ideas that are completely different. Now, of course, I don't suggest saving used Q-tips. This is a new one, but Q-tips can be used in spellwork. Think about what they're used for. They're good in communication spells, where you want somebody to be more receptive and more willing or able to hear what you have to say. Write their name on them. You can anoint it. You can use it as part of the spell. It can be the spell all by itself. And, oh, I love my twisty ties, can I tell you? I use these for everything. Mundane and magical. They are great. And one thing you can do is you can make them, well, I did this really, really quick, but you can make them as representations of people or ideas of people. Like if you are wanting a great boss, or you're wanting to see yourself in a certain way, or you're seeking, I'm not much into love spells, but if you're seeking to be open to love, this can represent an unknown figure as well as a known figure. I guess that's a better way to say it. You can wrap it in certain color threads. You can leave it as is. You can anoint it. You can put it in a bed of herbs. Many, many, many things. But that is one way to do it. I actually do make a lot of physical representations from wire in certain circumstances. I've also made them from stick. You don't have to make them from felt. I know that certain paths do follow certain ways to make puppets or baby dolls or things like that. But if that is not the case for you, use your imagination. You can draw the person. You can draw a stick figure. You can cut them out. I've cut out a gingerbread type design from a regular piece of paper and then use that in the spell work. You use what you have available. Again, like I said, unless you're trying to make amethyst oil, and you don't have amethyst, you can't make amethyst oil. But if you look at the reason for the spell, you can find a way. A witch will find a way or make a way. So with that, there's rubber bands. You can use them to hang up your herbs. You can, of course, close bags and things like that. But you can bind for protection or defense or offense. You do you. But really big rubber band, little rubber bands, I keep them all. Bread ties. These things that come on the end of our loaf of bread. These things are the same way. You think about what does it do? It holds the bag closed that the bread's in. But what is it doing? Is it protecting what's inside so that things outside don't get to it and harm it? Or is it forcing the bread to stay inside so it doesn't fall out all over the place? Again, I hope you kind of get my drift, that there can be several ways to use something that can be both sides of the coin. Old keys. You don't want to use a new key unless, you know, your spell requires that. But a key that's already opened something. This is good in road opener oil. I'm actually going to be making some of that, and I'll be using an old key that has already opened things. And of course there's deities like Hecate that one of their symbols is a key, if you believe that. Tacks, they can be used, of course, to poke in puppet dolls, but they can be used to target. So just think about, you know, if you're on a map and you're like, I want to go here. Well, that's setting your intent. The here could be a physical place. It could be how you want to see yourself, something that you want to work on, a goal. It could be a personality goal. It could be a financial goal. It could be anything, but you can actually, you know, make this your target, and you can set your target. I want to be here. This is where I want to be. This is where I'm going to get to. See it as it already happened. This is where I am. Let's see. Oh, I also save when I get packages. It seems to be mostly from eBay, where things can come from a lot of different places. But sometimes, like this one in particular, this was wrapped around something that came from India. And I don't know why. And I haven't used it yet, but something told me to keep it. It even still has a piece of the bag on it. And like I said, you don't have to know what you're going to do with it to save it. I have saved things and thought I was a little bit crazy for saving them. And then a few times I've been putting this spell together, and I knew that's the piece I needed. That was the missing piece I needed, and I had it, and it was so amazing. And sometimes they come in wrapped up in newspaper from other places. This one is not in English. But look at what packaging it's in even, you know. And save that if you want to. I have a whole bunch of old keys. These keys were my personal keys for days gone by. And I saved them and used them in spellwork. And I think that's it. Like I said, I save other things. I don't have my apples. I'm out of the apples. Other things are kind of here, there, and everywhere around the house. I just wanted to take a minute and, well, several minutes, and just kind of show you that, again, you don't have to go out and buy things, but also think outside the box. MacGyver it if you need to. A witch will find a way or will make a way. So you can always use things in ways that they may not necessarily have been meant to use, but they're meant to be used for you. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope you enjoyed the video. The boxes are supposed to be coming by April 22nd. It said the 2 mystery boxes. So hopefully I will get those and be able to do an unboxing. If you think of anything else you'd like me to do a video on, I'm thinking about doing one on spell paper. I tried to stay away from the more controversial things just because I don't do drama. I really don't do drama. But if there's questions you have for me, please let me know in the comments. If you have things that you save and have found a great use for, please share it. I think it's great to share information here. I read the comments. I learn from other people. I learn from you just as much as I hope you might pick up a tidbit or two from me. So again, thank you very much. Have a great day.